And we are following two top stories tonight. Our first alert weather team tracking another cold and blustery front that could dump more snow across the DMV. And of course, a stirring day on Capitol Hill as former President Jimmy Carter's body is brought to lie in state at the U.S. Capitol. We've got how both of these events could impact you. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm Scott Thuman. And this evening, the ceremonies mourning but also celebrating the life of President Jimmy Carter began here in Washington, D.C. He is now lying in state at the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. That is the very same building where he took his oath of office all the way back in 1977. We have team coverage tonight of the remembrances and the timeline of events. So let's start with our Josh Chapin. He's live outside the Capitol. And Josh, you spoke to people who are paying their respects this evening.
Yeah, and Scott, the grounds of the Capitol still open tonight. You can come down if you still want to pay your respects for the next couple of hours. As you can imagine, there is heavy police presence, heavy security here. Thousands coming out tonight, telling us, really pouring their emotions out, telling us why they felt they needed to brave the elements to be here. We walked down East Capitol Street tonight with Jamie and Jamie Hayes.
Yeah, I guess it's somber, obviously. Everyone's kind of in a reflective mood about President Carter and his accomplishments.
The couple from the district reflecting, along with the nation, about the 39th president. A man honored today with a processional through the streets. Tonight, the public getting its chance to say goodbye up close and personal.
I think that just speaks to what an impact he had, that you have so many young people here.
We were there as people lined up by the thousands on 2nd Street Northeast. Capitol Police removing the metal barricades set up just before 7 and allowing access to the walk towards the Capitol.
Left or right, guys, they're both the same.
The main reason I'm here is to pay respects to the office of the presidency.
One of those mourners was Ed Galvacki. He was in the Navy during the Carter administration and drove down from New Jersey.
I just felt that I was supposed to be here.
Same goes for Sharon Pitts.
Yeah, Jimmy Carter, because I felt like he's like really family.
Sharon lives in Alexandria but grew up in rural Georgia, not far from the president's home in Plains.
Just had to pay tribute because Jimmy Carter was a good man. He's worth it. He did so much, not only when he was off, but when he was out of office. All he did to help, like the Habitat for Humanity and just all over the world, and what he was able to do outside of office. He was just like a man of peace.
Jimmy Carter now at peace here in Washington. Scott, interestingly, Sharon was in Plains, Georgia, when Rosalind Carter passed away not too long ago, and she tells me she got to sign her guest book there. If you can't come down tonight, you still have another day up until Thursday morning to pay tribute here at the Capitol to President Carter. Scott, back to you.
Josh, thank you for that. We are less than 48 hours away from the late president's state funeral here in the nation's capital. That'll be at the National Cathedral, and preparations, as you would imagine, are well underway. The service will be on Thursday, and our Liana Golden is in Northwest tonight to show us what preparations look like at this hour.
Well, anti-scale fencing lines the cathedral perimeter here along Wisconsin Avenue, which is nothing new for the staff or agencies involved in this major operation. I mean, they've been doing this dating back to Eisenhower. But what does make President Carter's unique is working around a major snowstorm on top of heightened security efforts. A somber sight outside the National Cathedral. Flags fly at half-staff as snow fills the historic grounds ahead of a historic event.
A state funeral here at the cathedral makes everything else look like a cakewalk.
As dozens of Secret Service agents scope out the inside to prepare for President Carter's services on Thursday, the chief spokesman for the cathedral emphasizes the amount of planning that goes into this across several agencies.
There are 1,000 different moving parts. Imagine a puzzle upside down and backwards, and trying to make sure that all of those puzzle pieces all fit together. It's really complicated, but the thing is we've done this a few times, so we know how to do it.
Though there is one thing they weren't expecting.
Practically speaking, we have had to clear several thousand cubic feet of snow.
Those piles of snow left behind on the property as crews put the final touches on fencing out front and surrounding the cathedral, working in the cold, bitter snow themselves.
We have had to polish all the floors. We've had to bring in a couple thousand extra chairs. printing, making sure that we have all the cabling that we need. Flowers. We just got 5,000 flowers delivered this morning. We only have one chance to get this right, and that's what we're committed to do.
He says this is the highest level of security they do here at the cathedral, which, by the way, holds up to 3,300 people. He says the state funeral is really the only time they reach that kind of capacity. In Northwest D.C., I'm Liana Golden, 7 News.
Liana, thank you. Here's a complete timeline of events honoring former President Carter here in D.C. Right now, the public can view him lying in state at the Capitol until midnight. Then doors will reopen tomorrow at 7 a.m. They'll stay open until 7 a.m. Thursday morning. After that, Carter will be taken to the Washington National Cathedral for that national funeral service, and that's at 10 a.m. on Thursday. 7 News brought you live team coverage from today's procession route and tributes to President Carter. You can scan that QR code that's on your screen right now to see all of our reporting. It will take you directly to our playlist on the 7 News YouTube channel. And of course, our coverage continues tomorrow morning. That's starting at 4:30 a.m.